So it's just digging at the minute, the fun part of the job.
We're just going to work out the stairs, where we're going to do the measures, where they're going to actually fall.
Drainage saga. We found what appears to be a very old sewer run, which is probably still connected. It smells delicious, doesn't it, Pete? But our solution is this. There's always something which slows you down, but it's how you get over it that matters. Good morning, guys. It's Monday and it's another pretty beautiful day. It's nice, yeah. We've had a bit of rain over the weekend, so it's gone muddy now. We're doing really well. But anyway, so today, continue digging this area out here, make ourselves a nice little ramp, get this back to where we need it to be, and then we can move down here and then start getting these footings all sorted. In here, we have got some big works going on. Hi, Pete.
Morning.
So Pete is just starting this mammoth job of getting rid of some of this soil from in here. So, like I mentioned before, we've got the light wells which are being extended at the front, out here. Morning, James.
Morning.
So James is just doing a sterling job of digging all this out. We've also got this side to dig out down here, and then what we're going to do is basically excavate this whole point right across the middle as well, and then we can pour a concrete slab in this whole area, ready for our retaining walls, which are going to be built across there and also across here, ready to take the railings, all that sort of stuff around here. But obviously you'll be able to see that in more detail as we get there. So it's just digging at the minute, the fun part of the job, the muddy, horrible, minging part, but it's got to be done. So let's get on with it. Right then, guys, so you've been seeing me digging away, and Pete just got on the dumper and drove up there and realised that it dropped a little bit. So we've had a little scrape around to see what's going on, and we've found this. Let's go inside. Don't know if you can see down there.
It smells pretty good.
It smells delicious, doesn't it, Pete? Very nice. So not only have we found a well over there, we've also found what appears to be a main sewer run, a very old sewer run, which is probably still connected. We're gonna have to do a little bit of a hand dig just around this area here, expose everything, see what we've done, because it looks like it's fully collapsed now. So we need to get this rectified quickly, just in case this is still a live sewer, which it could quite possibly be, which is nice. So yeah, I just need to start digging, really. Let's get it done. Right, so I don't know if I recorded earlier about maybe getting some neighbours' presents, but we did have some neighbours' presents very kindly delivered to us through this pipe, which was excellent, wasn't it, Pete? Yeah. So you can see now we've exposed this. So this is the main sewer run for these houses that basically all their soil pipes go into, and then this will head down then to the actual proper main sewer run. I'll be totally honest, I don't know exactly what to do with this. There's a few different options, but we are awaiting Tony's arrival, because he is the fountain of knowledge and will know what to do with this, hopefully. Obviously it needs rebuilding and sorting out, so there's a few options, whether we try and rebuild it in brick, which is going to be not very easy because we can't put a form inside, or whether we cast something over the top of it and then pour concrete over it to seal it in from the outside. So we will wait for his arrival and see what he wants us to do. Nothing's ever easy, is it? Right then guys, back to drainage saga. So we've got everything exposed, opened up, we've scraped everything back. We may have to scrape this back a little bit further. You can see some of the bricks are a little bit loose there, and that one's dropped a little bit as well. But our solution is this. So these are 450 riser rings that you would normally use for an inspection chamber. But what we're going to do is basically cut these. It's going to be a bit of trial and error to get the right profile to cut so it goes and actually slots in here like this, and then we can basically slide it underneath this side, fill the middle in, and then we can flaunch inside, fully pack that with muck inside there and inside there, making sure that nothing goes down into this drainage run. Once that's all gone off, then we're going to get some rebar, bend over here like this, reinforce it nicely, and then get a nice big thick layer of concrete on here, good 6 inches probably on top, all the way over, to make sure this is nice and solid and is never going to go anywhere. The ground level will come back up to here anyway, and down sort of across this line somewhere ish, so it's not going to be in our way or exposed at all once this is all finished. So it will just go back to original, so it will be totally covered. Like I mentioned before, the only reason we exposed this was because of the ramp that we made down here, and then obviously we found it because of the collapse. So yeah, I'm just going to basically have a play around now with this to try and get the profile cut so that this works and slides in there. And then once I've done one, I can then just cut a few more just to suit, and just basically get this filled in and do exactly as I've just said. Got my rebar up there, got my risers here, got my angle grinder there. I will have my goggles on, and then we'll get it cut, get it in, get it sorted, and then we can carry on, because at the minute this is ground to a halt because both our machines are down here. Doesn't matter having the digger down here, but we need the dumper up there, and we currently can't get it out. Otherwise we'd have to dig another ramp to get out, and then probably cause this problem there. Let's not do that. Right, let's get it fixed. Right then guys, so I've made the form. So this is what we're talking about. So basically I'm going to use this riser ring in this way. It's basically sat in there like that. I'm going to push this one further in. I've just basically been fettling around a bit, trying to get the right size, because obviously it's got to fit against that side and against this side. I've had to just adjust some of the bricks. This one's going to be a bit of a problem. I might have to just cut around that, but we'll get that sorted. But this is the basic principle of what we're going to be doing. So we're going to get this in, and then like I said, I'm going to flaunch in there, basically fill that with concrete. But what I'm probably going to have to do is get enough cut so I can fill this run, with obviously the one going under that way, one going under that way. Push that where it needs to be, push that where it needs to be, make sure that when they're in place, all the middle ones fit in, and then get the concrete in here and in here, like I said before, because if I fill it all in with these and then put the concrete in there, I might get some that drops down into here, and then it might block it. So if I have this open and that open, I can then see, once I've concreted it in, underneath here, I can then just check underneath there and make sure nothing's dropped down. If it has, I can get to it easily, get it out, because the last thing we want is any blockages in here. And then obviously once they've gone off, we can then plonk these other bits in. Very technical term that, plonk. Put those other bits in, and then get all the flaunching done down the sides, because I know obviously nothing's going to get in from there or there, because you can see it's going to sit tight against the brickwork, so I can just mass fill that, and then everything is going to be nice and solid. And then we can flaunch over the top, and then we'll put some rebar, like I mentioned, like from the soil there into the soil here, bend it over so it's nice and rigid, and probably put some across as well, just to bout braces, always bout braces. And then yeah, once that's all ready and set, we can then flaunch over the top of it, get a nice thick layer of concrete on there to just fully encase this and make sure this never happens again. Right, let's do it. Okay, so it's done. Well, it's not done, but it's getting there. This is what I'm talking about. So you can now see exactly what I'm planning. So these obviously are all loose. So what I'm going to do, like I've mentioned before, is take these 1, 2, 3 out, leave the 2 end ones in, get some concrete in there right under here, because you can see there's a bit of a gap. I couldn't cut it any bigger than that because it physically wouldn't fit in widthways. This is the biggest one we could get in there, and obviously had to mess around with it quite a bit to get it in, but this is the best we're going to do. I've slotted it right in underneath there so I can get some concrete right in, fill this up so this void here is gone completely, and we've got a solid base for these bricks to sit on, and then do the same there. And then, like I mentioned, because these will be out of the way, I'll be able to check that nothing's falling down into here and blocking the drain. Once that's gone off a bit, I can slot these back in, and then I can get all this flaunched down here, get all that filled in down there as well, and then leave that then well alone for today. And then tomorrow, depending on how quick it goes off, hopefully I might get onto it today, but we'll see. I'll get some rebar set in across here and over the top like I mentioned, and then get it all concreted, and then we're good, we're good. I feel like I've just told you the same thing twice, but now you can see more clearly what I'm actually on about. Right, I've babbled, I'm babbling too much. It's nearly break time, I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go and get some food and then crack on with this. Right then, so these are now in. They've been flaunched in nicely. So basically, as you saw before, there was a void between this riser and the bricks, and what I've done is force as much material in there as I possibly can, just to make sure that's absolutely solid. Same on this side as well. When there's downward pressure on these bricks, they're not just going to collapse in onto this riser, because they've got something solid underneath them to brace them. Obviously the ones further down there, they're already under compression, they're not going to move anywhere, they're nice and solid, so we're only worried about this bit that we've exposed here. What has happened, I slightly moved that one I think when I was flaunching it. I know that one didn't move anywhere, but I was going to wait for these to go off before I put the central pieces in, but I'm going to get those in now, just so I've got a little bit of wiggle room if I need to. I can move them, because obviously if they've gone off, I'm not going to be able to move them anywhere at all, but I'm very happy with how that's gone. Once they're in, then I can get the rest flaunched in, and we can get some rebar, get it all sorted, and then we are done. And then we can carry on with the dig. Okay, so that's it, it's all flaunched in, all sealed up again, so that is one good job done. I'm just going to leave that to go off a little bit now. I'm going to go off and get some more sand and cement. I'm going to measure up and check I've got enough rebar for what we want to do. And hopefully by that time that'll have gone off enough then, so we can start getting the rest of it encased, and then we can carry on. There's always something which slows you down, but it's how you get over it that matters. So guys, I've been to get some materials, and Pete has been hard at work. So what he's done here is basically excavated this little extra bit that we said about. This enables us then to get our ramp nice and solid, because we are still going to need to come in and out with that and that. So we want to make sure that this can easily withstand the weight of us driving over that. So what Pete's done here, hi Pete by the way.
Hey John.
Pete was driving this morning, that's why he wasn't in.
Yeah, for the 700th lesson I've had, you know what I mean? It's,
Is it only 700?
Yeah, well to be fair, we'll have flying cars by the time I pass, so it'll be good.
You won't even need a licence, because it'll just drive itself.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Well, hope for AI, eh?
So what Pete's doing is basically getting this form in here, so all these bits of rebar staked in there, and then bent over, so we're nice and solid. And then what we're going to do, obviously carry that across to here, and then we're going to run some rebars running horizontally, what's the word, perpendicular to these, yeah, that will go straight across, and that will tie everything in nicely. We're also going to put a bit of shuttering across there to give us a nice piece to go against, and then we can just basically mass fill this with concrete, and this will give us a nice big lump to basically keep all this protected, so we can drive over it. And obviously in future, when everything's back on top of it, it's not going to have any issues further down the line.
Discovered a bit of a leak as well, didn't we?
Yeah, so these holes here that you can see down there and down there, basically water has been getting out. There's bricks that have come out, so water has been getting out of there and there, so it has basically created a bit of a cavern down there. So we're going to get those filled in with some bricks before we pour the concrete, because the last thing we want to happen is concrete to start flooding in there and then block, because we've obviously been very careful as we've been doing this bit to make sure nothing gets in there, so we don't want any more concrete to go in that way. So we'll make sure these are blocked off nicely before we get this pour done. Boom Pete, let's do it. So, you know how Pete loves to do a little jig, not like one of those jigs, that's what it sounds like, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But he likes to make stuff happen effectively, and obviously he's been making these, so I'm just going to show you Pete's method of making this lovely round shape on this rebar. Come on Pete, show us.
Right, so obviously this isn't like a typical problem you're going to get, but if ever you're going to make a bit of a radius on a bit of rebar, this is a little thing I've come up with. Take that, clamp it, keep it in place.
Look at that.
Get the kink on your knee. 1, 2. There you go.
Beautiful, look at that.
Beautiful little loop.
And then you can tap that straight in.
That's it, it's good to go.
Result. Yes, another successful mission by Pete. So our framework is now in, looking smart. It looks a little bit like some sort of medieval torture device, cocoon thing that you'd see in a castle. It's not, honest. Anyway, that is all in now, ready to go. We have decided that because of the depth of this pour, we're going to do it in 2. So we're going to basically get the first lot in, leave that to turn slightly, and then I'm going to tap some rebar in it, basically make it look like a hedgehog all the way over, and then once that's gone a little bit more, then we'll get another pour on top, and then the bits of rebar that are sticking out through the first pour, we'll then tie the second pour into it nicely, so it'll be fully encapsulated and nice and solid. So time's getting on now, it's time to go home Pete, let's do this. Tidy up and it's home time. See you in the morning. Good morning guys, so it's another day on site, and today we're finally going to get this bit sorted out. So I've got the mixer set up and ready, got everything ready. We're going to do 2 pours as I've said. I've talked about this bit too much, let's just get it done so we can crack on with the job. Okay, so I've got a sprinkling of concrete on here now, so this is just basically a little base coat if you like. What I'm going to do now is get a shutter across here, right the way across here, which will enable me then to bring this higher. I'm going to bring it up pretty much to this level, and then pretty high up here as well, just to make sure we've got a full decent coverage. I've just channeled out this little bit across here. I'm just going to get this plank in, cut myself a few stakes and just drive those in behind it, fix it all together nicely so it's not going to go anywhere, and then I can crack on and get this filled in. Right, so it's done. That is its final resting place. You can see now plenty on there. You saw as well that I put some additional rebar going across ways, just laid that in just to give it a little bit of extra lateral strength. Obviously when we're driving up it with this beast full, we want to make sure it's totally solid, so just those extra little bits just will make a little bit of difference. I'm just going to leave that to go off a little bit now, give it a little bit more fettling, because as I've just been told I do have OCD, so just got to make sure that it's bang on. I mean, it's totally fine like that. It's going to be covered by tons of soil and whatever, but that's it, job done. So I'm going to get everything cleaned up, and then I'm going to jump on with the lads who are in there now, emptying all the soil out here. Fun times, let's do it. Good morning guys, hopefully you can see me in this dark basement. So As you've seen from the time lapse, we are digging out the light wells at the front of the house just to basically bring more light in, which isn't really working at the minute. But so that means there's a lot of soil which has come out, which we've got rid of loads already, but there's a lot in here. Hopefully you can see this. It was literally out to here and that high, and some of the lads have had a bit of a competition to see how many wheelbarrows exactly was in here. And so far, this many has come out of this room. Now, Anne from Little Britain has not been in here. That is actually mud on the walls. But yeah, there's, one of them said 100, the other one said 65. We're already on 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 61 so far. So 65, nah, definitely not. We're probably about halfway there, so it's going to be over 100. Let's go outside and just say, hi Pete.
Morning.
Hi James.
Hello.
Hello. Right, so we're out in the light wells now. You can see it's changed dramatically out here. I'll go up here so you can see exactly what's happened. So originally they were where this edge of this concrete was, and now we've extended fully back to there. So what we're going to do is basically flood this whole floor with concrete. So we've got a nice solid base to work off. We're going to embed some rebar in it all the way across this back here and across this back here, the return there and the return there. And then we can build our retaining walls. This will be reinstated as a walkway straight across, so there won't be a retaining wall across there, but the retaining wall will return down to here and basically finish here like this and come down, so our handrail will come down here as well. And that's it. It's just basically been a bit of a slog. Poor James, and Ian, who's still on his break, has been working out here for a long time, haven't you?
That's all right.
Hand digging all this. It's going to make a man out of you, James. Yeah, he's like, shut up John, I hate you.
Shut up, John.
So yeah, they just got to carry on cracking this concrete out. This bit's going to be excavated here as well. That wall there is actually directly into the house, so we're going to leave that last step for now because it would just create a massive opening inside. Just a bit more structurally sound, leaving it like that for now. And yeah, that's it. James is cracking on. Good work, mate, good work. Right, let's go out the back and I'll show you what's going on out there. So you obviously saw me doing this concrete in here. We've managed to build a little ramp and get the machines out because we need to start getting some of this out of the way and getting this cleared back a bit. All the soil that we're taking from in there is obviously coming out here, and we need to get it right out the back there and get it dumped ready for a grab lorry. So that's why we had to get the machines up and out. So we've built our little temporary ramp. I can get the machine back down here now, and then the dumper is up there safe and out of the way, so nothing is going to collapse. We do not want that happening again. That's it. That's basically where we're at this morning. We've just had our Friday fry up, which was very nice. Shout out to Aubrey Allen. Yes, they're very, very tasty. Pete went and got it, didn't you, Pete?
Yes,
legend. Mate. So yeah, that's it. Let's do it.
Hey, good morning guys. So John's doing an amazing job here with the guys, smashing through it actually, because you know we don't like to mess around. We're just going to work out the stairs where we're going to do the measures where they're going to actually fall. We've got a pad going over there, John, haven't we?
There is a pad there, yeah.
And then we've got a pad coming over here, and then a pad over there as well. So we're just now going to measure all this up, and then John will then go and see Jodie. Is it Jodie we're using, isn't it?
Will be Jodie,
prototype.
Yeah.
And then we'll be away, and we can then get the steels and then deliver it and get them in. So they're a big old piece, aren't they, mate?
Going to be, yeah, very big piece.
Going to be fun. This is the wall that we're supporting here then, and we're going back to that pillar line there then?
Yes, that's the plan. Straight back to here, because he said this will give us more support then.
Yeah, okay. And then
because originally the door was going to move to here, wasn't it?
Yes, it was,
So what he suggested is we keep the door here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got more support for the wall upstairs.
Yeah.
I mean, this goes right the way up the top. So
yeah, it does. This flies all the way through.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
He wants us to put a big pad in here, doesn't he, John?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I think it's like 1200 by 1200 or 1500 by 1500 the pad.
I'll get the engineer's drawings up and then we can have a look and see what's what. These are the ones that we could do with printing out. It's just the whole bump, the 25 pages, because that obviously shows everything.
I was going to print this one off for you.
Yeah, that's good if we got that. Yeah.
And then because I'll mark all the steels on there, everything on there.
So we've got column 2 over in that corner outside.
Yeah.
Then we've got column 1 over there in that corner.
And then that's actually
which is here, isn't it? Sorry.
Yeah, that's there.
Yeah, and then there's a beam going across, and then this will bolt. Beam 1 will bolt into beam 2.
That's correct. Yeah, and then there's a no column there. That's just a pad there.
Yeah, just pad there.
So just basically a goalpost here construction, isn't there?
Yeah.
All good. Because we take everything from external, mate. Okay. So you've got 200mm bearing there, mate.
Right. So that is
external
3250.
3250.
Yeah.
You've got a pen kill.
Yeah.
So
Sharpie,
that will do. So from there, so outside wall is 3250 millimeters. Okay, and that's the outside wall. Because obviously, what we'll then do is get the centre of this wall. Then,
yeah.
You know, if you give them the outside measurement of this steel here, and then what we'll do is find exactly the centre, and then the centre from that. Because we've got a goalpost going in this position here, haven't we? So the goalpost over there, is it?
No, you're right. Yeah, it's there. It's that wall.
Yeah, so the goalpost goes in over there. This then comes across, doesn't it? Column over here, and then you got a cat plate detail then running across here, haven't we?
Yeah. It's in line with that wall. Basically, it's just there. So it's going to sit here, isn't it?
Yeah, I actually think what we should do then is tie it into this single leaf wall. Because what we can actually do is when the post goes in, we can actually then tie it in with some ties up the steel counter to give you more strength. So that's what we'll do. So if we go to a measurement halfway on this brick, this will give us the central line then, won't it? If we go right to the outside there, John, that's centre to the brick. What's that there, buddy?
Right to the corner.
Yeah, right to the corner.
3630.
Okay, and what's the bearing on that at the moment, mate?
300mm.
300mm. Okay, so you said 3630.
Yeah.
From the column here into the column over there to the end of the wall.
Right into the corner of the wall.
Into the wall and to the centre here. 3630. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I think we should do is give ourselves 30mm clearance on that wall.
Yeah.
That means then what we're going to do is look at that cat plate detail here, and then obviously if we're saying the full length of the back of the steel is going to be 3.6, okay?
Yeah.
So if that cat plate detail, which I think it might be, John, is that steel might be turned the other way around like that. I'm not too sure whichever way they are. They could be either way.
Either way, yeah.
So it allows then Jody to work everything out then to the end of this at 3.6. And then to the centre of that beam there.
3.6, yeah.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. The only thing we've got to do is be mindful if we set that to the outside of the seal at 3.6 is what the measurement is, what you've just now taken to the centre of this wall for this measurement
for that
here.
One. Yeah.
So what we'll do that measurement now, mate, okay, but we'll take it from the 3.630 because that was tight to the wall, wasn't it? And then we'll just then take the 30mm off as we need on the 3.6 to get to the centre. Okay.
Yeah, so something like that.
All right. Okay. So basically, from the back of the steel, it's going to be 30mm off that, and that's then it's going to be 1635, isn't it?
Is it 16? Yeah,
yeah. So 1635. So where that centre is there, that's going to be 1635, isn't it? Now, obviously, that's the back of the steel. I'll put on the back of steel, okay? Yeah. Now, obviously, what he'll do is whatever his flange thickness is here,
he'll have to take
he'll have to deduct it off that size. I think it'll probably be like a 10mm wall, and if it is, he'll just knock off 5mm. That's it, okay? So I'll put a question mark on there, flange wall, mate, okay? Then the last measurement is then
is this one.
That centre one over there, isn't it, John?
Yeah.
Might have to go tight to that wall,
tight
John.
to it, mate, yeah.
Yeah, that there is actually 3950, mate. Bang on.
3950.
Yeah. Now that's just a pad stone there, isn't
That's
it?
pad there, yeah.
That's pad.
3950.
3950. What you could do is just give yourself a 50mm clearance, can't you? Because you'll have plenty of that anyway, won't you? And then just go 39, mate, I would.
Okay, just give yourselves a bit of wiggle
room.
room.
That'll be then to centre, gives you a bit of 50mm wiggle room, gives you everything you need then, won't it, mate? That's it then, buddy.
Cool, easy as that.
Yeah, I'm going down to the unit anyway,
okay.
So if there's any questions when you're going through Jody, then I'll be there, mate, because I'm going to be there for about 20 minutes, half an hour, then we'll go get back down to the farm, so.
Cool.
I'll give you a Sharpie back.
Straight away, I was like, come on.
Okay, mate, so that's it then, boom.
Right, guys, that's it, the end of another episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Give us a big thumbs up. And if you're not yet subscribed, please, come on. We're so close to being at 100,000. We need you. We need you to get us there. Also, just quickly mentioning True Trade. If you're not yet signed up to True Trade and you are in the building game, please head over to truetrade.co.uk and get yourself involved. It has got a plethora of tools which will help your business grow and make your life a hell of a lot easier. Right, take care guys, see you on the next one.